Unmoved by favor or disgrace, watch the flowers bloom and fall before the courtyard. Without clinging to coming or going, let the clouds drift and gather beyond the sky. You've probably seen those two lines on a poster, maybe in a friend's feed. Few people know they come from a small Ming dynasty book. The title sounds a little bitter. It's called Kagenten. Roots of Wisdom. The man who wrote it watched his dynasty turn from bright to dim. He lived in a worn house. Chewed ordinary days until they tasted plain. He never shouted in court. He left short lines for later readers. Read them himself at night. Good evening. This is Bedside Book Voice. Tonight we read Roots of Wisdom. If you're already lying down, good. Dim the lamp a little more. Set the phone farther away. Pull the blanket up. This book isn't like Gagoozy, teaching you how to speak and break deadlocks. It feels more like an elder at your bedside. Line by line, gently loosening the knot in your chest. The title sounds austere. Often, reading it, you just breathe out. Let me say this plainly first. Tonight you don't need to memorize hundreds of maxims. You don't need to finish every page. Just follow my voice. Listen to a Ming scholar, how he kept a little stillness in rise and fall. How he tasted a little plainness inside noise. When we're done, you'll carry away a few reminders. The kind that stay with you a long while. If you fall asleep halfway, that's fine. Roots of Wisdom won't scold you. I won't either. Many people have only seen those two lines about flowers blooming and falling. They don't know the whole book holds hundreds of equally short, equally bedside lines. This journey is about half an hour. You lie still. Leave understanding to me. Leave sleep to the bed. That opening question stays buried for now. Why is it called vegetable roots? Can chewing roots really make 100 things doable? We'll get there slowly. Roots of Wisdom was compiled in the late Ming. The author is generally taken to be Hong Yingming. In the official histories you almost never find a full biography. He's more like a name showing through a crack in the age. He served as an official. Saw the world. Later he left office and lived between poverty and leisure, writing his lessons on living as short lines. The book is thin. Unlike the Analects with its dialogues. Unlike Gagoozy with its systematic chapters. This is page after page of maxims. Like notes taken at night. Yet it grows heavier the more you read. Turn one page and it feels like a small slip of paper. Finish once and you feel a little study has opened inside you. The title comes from a Buddhist line. By day chew the vegetable root, and 100 things can be done. The vegetable root is the common thing on a poor tabled plane, easy to overlook. Peel it and it still makes a pot of soup. Hong Yingming didn't use it to teach misery. He used it to teach this. If the heart can chew this plainness, the world's ups and downs can't flip you so easily. Late Ming was stormy. The book's tone is often light. That contrast is the first taste of Roots of Wisdom. The second is what you notice as you read on. It's not talking about success. It's talking about not losing your footing. Only when you keep your footing can you sleep. The lines draw from Confucian, Buddhist, and Daoist sources. Some sound like Confucius on self-cultivation. Some like Laozi on retreat. Some like Chan talk of emptiness and stillness. You needn't sort who is who tonight. Just feel this. Chinese talk about how to live has long run along a line like this. No slogans. Only short sentences. You meet them by day and remember them at night. Short sentences have this gift. You may forget the whole passage and still keep half a line. Half a line is sometimes enough to carry you through a sleepless night. Your first feeling reading Roots of Wisdom is often plainness. It doesn't preach earth-shaking doctrine. It speaks of that greasy tiredness after scrolling too long, after overtime, after social duty, and how to rinse the heart a little. Plainness isn't coldness. It's being pulled less by the outside. Listen closer and you'll find it doesn't teach you to collapse and give up. It teaches you this. Affairs needn't be done to the brim. Words needn't be spoken to the brim. The heart, though, can be filled slowly. Filling isn't done in one night. It's like chewing a root slowly, until your own taste appears. The whole book has no fixed order. Later readers split inner and outer chapters for convenience. Some editions have 2 volumes. Wording shifts a little. Meaning stays close. Tonight we'll pick the most pillow-friendly, most sleep-friendly pieces, like choosing night tea, and string them together. When you open the original later, every page won't feel like scolding. It'll feel like someone in the dark gently touching your shoulder. Not pushing you up. Only reminding you. Rest now. The first core idea is chewing the vegetable root. Hong Yingming borrows the Buddhist line. Endure plain living. Guard your aim. Then you can truly do things. Poverty here isn't only little money. It's also less desire, less comparison. If all day you stare at what others have, night won't settle. The root is hard to chew. Chew long enough and the tongue remembers a real taste. Not needing sugar. Not needing spice. Still feeling alive. That aliveness isn't excitement. It's steadiness. Knowing what you ate today. What you thought today. What comparison you dropped. Some hear vegetable root and think self-punishment. It's closer to laying a foundation. Build a house and you lay the base first. Live a life and you lay the heart first. When the base is steady, wind and rain above may shake the roof, but the house won't scatter at once. Tonight recall the most blocked thing from today and ask. Was I blocked by the matter, or by comparison? Loosen comparison and the root chews a little easier. The matter may still be there. The fire inside will drop a notch first. Drop a notch and you're 1 notch closer to sleep. The second idea is remaining unmoved by favor and disgrace. Those lines about courtyard flowers and sky clouds are the book's most famous doorway. Favor means being lifted up. Disgrace means being pushed down. Unmoved doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you don't tie your whole feeling to the outside. Flowers open and you look once. Flowers fall and you look once, but you don't hang your whole self on the branch. Clouds gather and drift the same way. Hong Yingming wrote flowers and clouds not as landscape. He wrote them as this. Outer things may move. The heart needn't move with them every time. Hong Yingming wrote those lines in the late Ming. You may not have court favor tonight. You have likes in a group chat. Praise from a boss. Gossip from relatives. A cold face from a partner. All are flowers. All are clouds. You needn't play tough and say you don't care. You may admit first. I care. Then practice this. Care, but don't run with it. Running is what drains you before sleep. If one comment keeps you awake an hour, that hour enlarged favor and disgrace. Roots of Wisdom teaches you to see without enlarging. The third idea is true flavor in plainness. The book says plain friendship reveals true flavor. Drunken poetry reveals true delight. With friends and meals, not every meeting must be thunder. Plain contact often lasts longer. Plain here isn't distance. It's less performance, less testing, less treating every meeting like an exam. Exam-style social life tires you by day. At night it replays. Did I say the wrong thing just now? Tonight think who you can speak a little truth to without forcing. That kind of tie is often plain. Plain speech inside a tie is trust. Hong Yingming isn't telling you to stop making friends. He's telling you not to cover emptiness with noise. When noise ends and only emptiness remains, bedtime feels especially heavy. Plainness keeps a little real sound. Real sound needn't be loud. A quiet line like "today was rough" can sometimes hold a bond better than a feast. The fourth idea is true joy in stillness. He says after seeing enough of human affairs, you know joy in stillness. That sounds old, like something retirees understand. Young people know it too, often from the reverse. Scroll until midnight and feel more hollow. Party until midnight and feel more scattered. Stillness isn't doing nothing. It's giving the heart a place to land. Once it lands, joy needn't depend on stimulation. Without stimulation, sleep becomes possible. Joy in stillness isn't loud laughter. It's breath moving a little easier. Shoulders dropping a little. You needn't meditate tonight. Before you turn off the lamp, scroll 5 minutes less. Give 5 minutes more to the dark. In the dark, joy stays shallow and real. If Hong Yingming saw us now, he might say we have everything except the sip of stillness. Stillness costs no money. It asks you to put down the hand that says just one more swipe. When the hand rests, the heart can receive the night. The fifth idea is hiding the edge. One vivid line says the eagle stands as if asleep. The tiger walks as if sick. Not truly asleep. Not truly sick. The claws and teeth stay off display. Hong Yingming lived in the late Ming and saw too many talented people envied, too many words costing too much. So he teaches this. Able, yet show a little unable. Skilled, yet show a little plain. Showing plain isn't playing dumb. It's leaving margin. Margin for yourself. Margin for others. This isn't teaching hypocrisy. It's teaching you that strength needn't shout every day. If you finished something today and the heart runs hot, words spill easily. Too many words wound easily. Before sleep, cool the heat a little. Sheath the blade like putting a knife back in its case. Case there. Blade there. Just no flash tonight. Use it tomorrow if needed. Hong Yingming saw too many who flashed bright and went out fast. Hiding the edge is slower wisdom. It's also sleep that holds steadier. The sixth idea is advance and retreat. He says where you advance, think one step back. Where you just succeeded, don't celebrate until you forget yourself. Advance is doing. Retreat is guarding the heart. In the late Ming, many advanced too hard, retreated too late, and lost even the road back. Hong Yingming wrote as if laying a soft pad under a hard age. The pad isn't for lying flat forever. It's for breaking fewer bones when you fall. In your own life, advance and retreat can mean this. Words at the lip, pull half a sentence back. Anger at the head, pull half a step back. That's not cowardice. It's leaving tomorrow's road. In a couple's quarrel, a friend's misunderstanding, a project dispute, retreat half an inch often wins more than advance 1 inch. Winning isn't crushing the other person. It's keeping the matter alive. Alive beats being right in one breath. Alive nourishes you. It nourishes sleep too. The seventh idea is wealth, poverty, and peace of mind. He says greed makes poverty still poverty. Clean retreat in plenty can make the heart truly rich. Rich here means able to sleep. You may earn much by day. If the heart always fears loss, bedtime stays poor. Income may be ordinary. With less comparison, the quilt can feel warm. Warm isn't only temperature. It's not always owing someone, not always chasing someone. In the late Ming, some were rich outside and empty inside. Some lived plainly and still wrote this book from a root. Hong Yingming isn't romanticizing poverty. He separates two accounts: the pocket's numbers and the heart's numbers. Worry the pocket by day if you must. At night, keep the heart's numbers from jumping with the pocket. Jumping is insomnia's common rhythm. Roots of Wisdom wants to slow that rhythm for you. The eighth idea is seeing people without entangling. The book says watch things with cool eyes. Hear sounds with cool ears. Walk the road with cool feeling. See people with a cool heart. 4 colds. Not cold blood. Not rushing to cling. See things without being dragged by things. Hear words without being stabbed by every line. Walk without letting a stranger's glance decide your life. See a person without pinning one moment on them forever. Cold is distance. Distance helps you see clear. It also says the gentle person's heart is level like water. The narrow person's heart burns like fire. That's blunt. Hong Yingming isn't asking you to curse someone. He's asking you to see this. If fire rises inside, pour water on your own heart first, not on someone else's face. If someone angered you today, don't replay at night how you should have snapped back. Roots of Wisdom says winning the argument is sometimes less than winning the heart. Winning the heart means not opening a second court in bed for that person. The ninth idea is fate and self-kindness. He says if heaven gives me thin fortune, I thicken virtue to meet it. If heaven loads me with labor, I ease the heart to fit it. That's not fatalism. It's this. Whatever the outside gives, the inside can still add something. Adding isn't hard bracing alone. It's finding a seam where breath can pass. Find the seam and hardship isn't all wall. If today felt like why is it always me, tonight you may swap one line. Smooth or rough, let the heart widen 1 inch first. 1 inch doesn't solve everything. It makes room for sleep. Late Ming readers heard fortune thin and labor heavy is daily weather. Today's readers hear the same. Plans outrun change. Effort outruns comparison. Roots of Wisdom doesn't promise tomorrow will be better. It promises you can scold yourself 1 time less tonight. Scold once less and sleep a little more. Sleep a little more and tomorrow truly has force to change. Change is daylight's work. Easing is night's work. Don't finish all of daylight's tasks in the head at night and forget to sleep. The 10th idea is sound in the ears, silence in the heart. The book says though sound enters the ears, the heart can stay without sound. However loud outside, leave a small still plot inside. The plot needn't be large. A corner of the bed is enough. If you live on a busy street, cars and voices enter the ears. Let them stop at the ear. If they enter the heart, you run with the traffic and can't brake until midnight. Roots of Wisdom isn't asking you to shut the world off. It's asking you to keep one door that opens inward. There's also an idea called the path. It says when the path reaches its place of power, leave the road. Stop where stopping belongs. Stop isn't failure. It's knowing farther on maybe wall. If all day you swing between try once more and give up, ask at night. Am I walking or am I crashing? Crashing drains you most. Stop one night. Look again tomorrow. That's not laziness. That's root wisdom. Roots often teach you not to spend all your force on the wrong road. About Hong Yingming himself, records are scarce. We can only sketch an outline. Legend says he entered office, saw warmth and cold in official life, then withdrew among mountains, worn books, and plain days, gathering roots of wisdom. Whether one man wrote every line, scholars still debate. Some think later hands added lines. Tonight we're not detectives. We read the taste in the words of someone who lived rise and fall and spoke lighter afterward. Light isn't weightless. It's not pressing every ounce onto your own heart. What was the late Ming? Border trouble outside. Faction fights inside. The dynasty was like an oil lamp shaking in wind. Hong Yingming wasn't Hong Yingming opening a school, nor Su Shaka crossing 10,000 miles. He was closer to an ordinary scholar. He saw clearly and didn't want to shout it broken. He wrote into short lines for later readers to find at night. That form suits bedside book voice naturally. You needn't swallow the book in one breath. You need only pause on one page, like pausing under a small lamp. Roots of Wisdom and Giguzi sit almost opposite in temper. Giguzi is cool. It looks at hearts, seams, and how to speak. Roots of Wisdom is plain. It looks at the self, advance and retreat, and how to stir less inside. If you heard our episode on the art of Giguzi, you may remember opening and closing an inner key. Tonight change the tea. Not how to win the mouth. How to win back a little sleep. One book is like daytime blade work. One is like a quilted night. Blade work can be learned. The quilt must be pulled up. Pulling it up isn't surrender. It's clocking out. Compared with fireside words and small window notes, all three are Ming maxim books often read together. Fireside feels like winter chat. Small window feels like study talk. Roots of Wisdom feels like Buddhist, Confucian, and Daoist lines simmered into soup that doesn't scald. You needn't rank them tonight. Know only this. Chinese talk about living has a whole family of bedtime little books. Roots of Wisdom is the one people quote most often. Quoted often means easy to remember. Easy to remember means close to a person. Close to a person isn't close to success. It's close to those moments when you hold hard by day and want to soften a little at night. Hong Yingming also borrows nature often. Spring wind in peach blossom. Summer moon and lotus. Autumn fruit, chrysanthemum, osmanthus. Winter snow, plum, orchid. Each season has beauty. You needn't envy only spring. If you always wait for a better season, wait for promotion, wait for moving house, wait for the child to grow, wait for the bill to clear, you miss the season you're in. The season you're in may be this night before sleep. Night has its own beauty. Lamp low. Sounds soft. Heart can drop back into the body. When the body lands, you're truly home. Some lines fit night thinking especially well. Wind passes sparse bamboo and the bamboo keeps no sound after the wind. Wild geese cross a cold pond and the pond keeps no shadow after the geese. Wind gone, bamboo still stands. Geese gone, water still rests. Matter comes, respond once. Matter goes, don't replay forever. If one thing spun in your head all day, these two lines may help you gather in. Not forced forgetting. Allowed passing like wind. Passing doesn't erase what happened. It stops filling the whole night. Another line says friendship should carry a little chivalry. Character should keep a little old warmth. Chivalry isn't fighting. It's carrying half a step more for a friend or for what's right when it matters. Old warmth isn't wearing ancient clothes. It's keeping a little straightness and warmth from older days in the heart. Hong Yingming feared people growing too slick until even they can't trust themselves. Before sleep, ask: did I carry half a step for someone today? Did I leave a little truth with old warmth? If yes, sleep lighter. If not, try tomorrow. That's not late. Another line says one draped in silk is not without old sores. One full of books is not without petty ways. Fine clothes outside don't erase scars inside. Learning deep doesn't erase narrow temper. The line is cool and clear. It teaches you to see others and yourself. Bright outer show, wounded inner lining still possible. Many books read, small sting still possible. Before sleep, worship the shell a little less. Look at the lining a little more. The heart lightens. Light enough to hear your own breath. Roots of Wisdom also speaks of endure and yield, but not as weakness. It says yield one step and the sky widens. Endure one moment and the wind stills. Yield and endure make space. They don't erase your bottom line. If Hong Yingming only taught endure, he wouldn't have written the eagle standing like asleep. Able to hide and able to yield is whole living. If you were wrong today, you needn't explode in replay tonight. Endure one night. See tomorrow whether the matter deserves advance or retreat. One night's endure sometimes protects you better than 10 sharp replies. It also speaks of busy and idle. The busy often steal no true idle. The idle sometimes carry busier hearts than anyone. If your day was packed, this half hour is stolen idle. Don't spend it worrying tomorrow. Hong Yingming would say idle isn't thinking nothing. It's thinking without tangle. Tangle is 10 windows open in the head. Idle is one window. Here. Lying. Listening. We're about halfway through the program. In this breath between thoughts, one small favor. If tonight's voice has kept you company, tap like and subscribe. Leave a lamp for me in the night. You needn't sit up. One finger is enough. Good. We continue with vegetable roots. In the second half, I'll bring those words back down into daily life, back to the pillow, back to the second when you open your eyes tomorrow. Next, I want to gather a few words for you so that after sleep you remember more than plainness alone, and know how to use it by day. Chew the root, remember less comparison and a steady heart base. Unmoved by favor and disgrace, remember flowers and clouds pass the eye without tying the whole body. True flavor in plainness, remember less performance and longer ties. True joy in stillness, remember 5 minutes for the dark. Hide the edge, remember when hot, sheath the blade. Advance and retreat, remember half a sentence back and the road remains. Wealth and poverty, remember pocket and heart count separately. See people, remember see clear without entangle. Fate, remember when outside gives hardship, inside can widen. You may carry only one. From tonight on, replay one less thing before sleep. Roots of Wisdom is often called worldly wisdom. Some call it mush without spine. Mush is mixing with no principle. Roots of Wisdom is soft with principle. It teaches yield, not cowardice. Plainness, not coldness. Hiding, not cunning. Read crooked and everything becomes endure everything. Read straight and many things grow a little easier to see. Seeing open isn't giving up. It's not letting every grain of sand keep you awake. Sand belongs today. Sleep belongs tonight. Don't let day borrow your mind for a night shift. Today the book still helps at work, at home, in social life. At work, favor and disgrace are praise and blame. Roots teaches you not to tie all self-worth to review. Praised, be glad, but don't hand your whole self to one nod. Blamed, be hurt, but don't blow one nod into I am finished tonight. Enlarging is what favor and disgrace fear most. Unmoved means slowly shrinking the enlargement. Review passed, heart loosens half a notch. Review failed, heart needn't collapse whole. At home, plainness is true flavor. Perform success less at the table. Leave ordinary speech. Ordinary speech often nourishes ties most. In social life, hiding the edge means showing less. Too much showing brings envy and stir before sleep. Hong Yingming never used these modern words. Meaning still fits. It fits because fear, wanting, and hoping in hearts haven't changed much. If you worry, Roots of Wisdom sounds like an old person's book, here's a younger use. Heartbreak, job loss, being misunderstood, you can read 2 lines about flowers blooming and falling first. Not to force joy at once. To allow grief, but not hang your whole future on this grief. Wind passes bamboo and keeps no sound. People pass through matters and needn't keep every mark. Marks can fade slowly. That's chewing root too. Young people sometimes need less hype before sleep and one less inner trial. Leave the trial for tomorrow. Hold court in sunlight. Another use is for those who always feel not good enough. The book says clear thorns from the road, mend the broken fence in the corner. Thorns on the path, sweep a little. Corner at home, mend a little. Mending isn't decorating the house. It's mending a hollow inside. Hollow often comes from comparison. They have what I lack. They can what I cannot. Stop comparison and the hollow shrinks. Hollow shrinks and sleep enters easier. Entering sleep isn't escaping reality. It's leaving a clear tomorrow for reality. Compared with the Tao Te Ching, Laozi speaks non-action. Hong Yingming speaks plain action. Non-action follows the way. Plain action loosens grasp. One leans toward heaven's movement. One leans toward the human heart. Compared with the Analects, Confucius speaks benevolence. Roots speaks plain friendship. Benevolence keeps people in the heart. Plainness keeps ties from binding death. Both can live together. Do your duty by day. Seek plainness at night. That's not split life. Split life is speaking full by day and regretting full at night. Roots of Wisdom wants both sides gathered a little. Roots of Wisdom isn't long. Later editions are many. Plain language versions. Illustrated versions. Japan and Korea read it early as a book of self-cultivation. Qing readers placed it beside fireside words on the desk and turned 2 pages before sleep. 2 pages, not full mastery. 1 line falling into the heart is enough. When day brings trouble, the line floats up by itself. Floating up means the book keeps you company. Tonight we don't chase editions. We follow one thread. A late Ming scholar gathered heart methods from a stormy age into short lines for the pillow. If you want the original, don't force page 1. Open anywhere. Read where you stop. Stopping is also reading. Bedside book voice isn't a classroom. It's someone at the bed making the book lighter. The world moves faster now. Short lines last longer. What one social post can't hold is often performance. What one line can hold is often real need. Need is having your own sentence at night. The book's temper closes in 1 line. Chew the vegetable root and 100 things can be done. Not do 100 things first, then deserve the root. Chew the root first and the 100 things become doable. The 100 things include sleeping well, speaking well, loving well, forgiving yourself once. If tonight you feel you did poorly, don't lie down in trial. Roots teaches tomorrow you can chew again, do again, plain a little more. Plain a little more isn't less effort. It's less inner friction. Inner friction steals sleep most. Did Hong Yingming see later people hang his lines in tea rooms and company lobbies? History won't say. When you see flowers in clouds and can return them to one book, one person, one age, that's already reading's meaning. The book isn't far away. It pulls the heart from day back toward night, even a little. A little is enough. Enough is one of the most important words before sleep. If you heard our Book of Changes episode, you remember change. Roots of Wisdom teaches leaving a little unchanging inside change, your own steadiness. Steady isn't stubborn. It's knowing what may drift with clouds and what needn't fall with every blossom. If you heard the Analects, you remember the gentle person isn't a vessel for one use only. Roots teaches don't forget sometimes to gather the heart into a small bowl and hold a little stillness. Books confirm one another. One book tonight is enough for sleep. Many books later are enough for living. In marriage, Roots of Wisdom has a soft line. Husband and wife aren't a grand yin-yang lecture. They're two temperaments grinding slowly together. Grinding isn't winning the quarrel. It's finding a frequency where both can breathe. If you and your partner had friction tonight, don't replay until 3 in the morning. Remember, different temperaments aren't the same as no love. Talk tomorrow, and that's also advance and retreat. Talk yes. Don't rehearse the same sentence 10 times under the quilt. Rehearsal is the quarrel that hurts sleep most. With children, Roots teaches slow. A child isn't your report card or your sequel. Plain expectation eases the child in you. With elders, Roots teaches respect. Respect isn't only goods. It's patience to hear old stories repeat. Old stories sometimes hide fear of being forgotten. Hear once. Correct details by day if needed. With friends, Roots teaches playing with a little chivalry. Don't bind too tight daily. When it matters, extend half a hand. Half a hand is sometimes truer than taking the whole load. With yourself, one line may matter most. Where no storm rises in the heart, wherever you are carries a little ease. Ease isn't daily joy. It's not being thrown out of bed by your own inner storm. You had enough storm by day. Before sleep, reef the sail a little. Sail reefed, boat still there, you still there. You can set out again tomorrow. Before setting out, sleep. Roots of Wisdom doesn't hide the world's warmth and cold. It says warmth and cold come in their season. When they come, know they'll go. When they go, know they may return. Know the cycle and despair less easily, swagger less easily. If tonight you feel proud, pull back half a notch. If tonight you feel low, pull back half a notch too. Half a notch for sleep. Half a notch for tomorrow. Tomorrow's heat can wait. Let tonight's heat cool a little. Some readers love the wind and bamboo lines most. Some love unmoved by favor and disgrace. Some love the eagle standing like asleep. No standard answer. Whichever line touched you lightly tonight, that's your root. Don't grab too many. One line can keep many nights. Keeping company isn't reciting to show off. It's whispering one line to yourself when hurt. Like a hand on the shoulder. The opening loop can close now. Why vegetable roots? Because the author believed if a person can rest in life's most ordinary, plain mouthful, favor, disgrace, wealth, poverty, and gain and loss can't push you around at will. Chew the root and 100 things can be done. Not success doctrine. Sleep doctrine. Heart settled, affairs last longer. Affairs lasting longer matters less tonight than sleeping well. Sleep well isn't escape. It's strength tomorrow to keep chewing, doing, and planning a little more. In the last episode, Gaguzi said settle the heart first, then answer 10,000 shifts. Roots of Wisdom adds one line. When the heart grows plain, stillness can land. Gaguzi teaches seeing others. Roots teaches seeing yourself. Read together in Day Meets Night. Understand people a little by day. Understand yourself a little at night. Life twists less. Twist is a common feeling before sleep. Ease is the gift Roots wants to give. The gift isn't costly. It's one swallowable night. If you want both, use Gaguzi's listen first then speak by day. Use Roots of Wisdom's wind passes and leaves no sound at night. Not either or. Chinese classics were never only one book. Choose one line for the pillow and you're already reading right. Read right and the book isn't on the shelf alone. It lives in the seconds before your eyes close. Before good night, one small question. Among all tonight's lines, which do you most want beside the pillow? Flowers blooming and falling. Wind through bamboo. Eagle standing like asleep. No rush to answer now. After you wake, tell me in the comments. I read every one. If you like nights like this, subscribe to the channel and tap the little bell. On the next sleepless evening I can find you again. Next episode we read the Tao Te Ching. Roots of Wisdom teaches you to rest in plainness. Laozi teaches you to move with the way. One gathers inward. One reads the world's flow. Both suit the pillow. One more line from Roots of Wisdom for tonight's ending. Years are long by nature, yet the hurried shorten them. Heaven and earth are wide by nature, yet the narrow make them small. You needn't hurry tonight. You needn't narrow tonight. Gather the day in a little. Give the night to night. Night will gather replay for you, gather comparison, gather words still unsaid. Let the lamp stay dim. Nothing needs fighting. Nothing needs showing off. Tomorrow you'll be a person again. Tonight be only the lightest part of being human. Someone lying down. If Hong Yingming could see you, he might say that's enough. Set today down. Leave tomorrow for tomorrow. Sleep. Good dreams for tonight. One last gathering. You don't need to become Hong Yingming. You don't need to become a late Ming scholar. You only need to become the self willing to loosen a little tonight. Loosen isn't slack. It's setting down the must on your shoulder for now. Must remains. Pick it up tomorrow. Tonight carry the quilt. The quilt isn't heavy. The heart often weighs more than the quilt. The whole book, in the end, teaches you to lighten the heart's weight again and again, until you can sleep. This is Bedside Book Voice. Good night, see you in the pages.